We have evolved as a species, and thanks to that we don't have to suffer through terrible board games anymore. But with so many good family games nowadays, it can be tough to choose. I've also seen multiple times that my kids actually enjoy games that most tabletop fans would consider subpar. So I've made this list of 40 board games that I think deserve to be in any family's collection. As much as possible, I'm aiming for games that are widely available in retail, with a diversity of genre and age ranges. By the way, if you like this kind of essential list, please let me know in the comments, and of course I really appreciate if you like and subscribe. This is it, my numbers 10 to 1. Let's go! Uno is one of those games that people love to hate, but it is a staple of family board gaming, and it is still fun occasionally. It doesn't take any shelf space, the rules are super simple, it wouldn't be an essential list without Uno. Another classic that I like is Jenga, and if you're looking for some modern classic card game, try Dominion. It has nothing to do with Uno except that it's a card game. Gloomhaven isn't typically described as a family board game, but if your older kids are into dungeon crawlers, this is the golden standard. My son loves the game and it really clicked for him, so you might want to try it with your family. If the complexity of Jaws of the Lion didn't bother your family, you might be ready for other heavy cooperative games such as Gloomhaven itself, Sleeping Gods, or Spirit Island. Sleeping Queens is definitely not my favorite game. It relies a bit too much on the luck of the draw for my taste, but my kids love it. The game also manages to make math fun for the younger ones, as additions are involved, but not required. Once your kids graduate from Sleeping Queens, you might want to try Dragonwood with some similarities but longer gameplay. Sushi Go is a quick-paced drafting and set collection card game. You compete to get the most points. Younger children might struggle strategy-wise, but should have no problem grasping the rules fairly quickly. You might also like Sushi Go Party, of course. People who like Sushi Go also recommend Santorini and Patchwork. Mysterium is a very original cooperative game of Clue. One player is a ghost sending dreams to the other players, who have to figure out the killer and the murder weapon together by interpreting the dreams. I've found that it works well even for our youngest one, because it's simply about associating images and using your imagination. If your family enjoys Mysterium, you might also like Obscurio or The Mind. King Domino. In this fast family game, you have to build a kingdom with varied terrains on domino-shaped tiles. The rules are easy to understand, but younger kids might struggle a bit with some of the strategic aspects of the game. King Domino has some good expansions, including Queen Domino, which can be played on its own or expand the base game. For younger kids, Dragomino is the junior version of the game. Forbidden Island is a game created by Pandemic designer Matt Leacock. It follows similar mechanics but is slightly different and has a more adventurous theme. You and your team have to collect 4 treasures before the island sinks. It is a great cooperative game even for younger kids. If you like Forbidden Island, there are other games in the collection that you might want to look up too: Forbidden Desert, Forbidden Sky, and Forbidden Jungle. Catan is a classic, and it's easy to dismiss it, but it still deserves a spot in the top 3 for family board games. In Catan, you compete to collect and trade resources. The game has been so popular that there are multiple variations you can choose from depending on your preferences. Catan Junior is great for younger kids. The game also has a lot of expansions once you get familiar with it, or even standalone versions with themes that might work better for you. Pandemic is a great cooperative game where you have to contain and destroy a virus as a team of scientists. It might be a bit too thinky for younger kids, but your mileage might vary. For older kids, you might want to try Pandemic Legacy. For younger kids, Forbidden Island uses similar rules with simpler mechanics, and the Warcraft theme of Wrath of the Lich King works well for teens. In Ticket to Ride, you compete with your friends to build train routes. The game is super easy to learn and plays under an hour. It's what people call a modern classic, and in my opinion should be in any family's collection. You might also prefer Ticket to Ride Europe, same rules, different map, and if you have kids under the age of 10, I personally strongly recommend Ticket to Ride First Journey, which plays faster and with simpler rules. And this is it for my 40 essential family board games. I hope you enjoyed the list. Did I miss any good games in there? Let me know in the comments, and see you next time.